Greetings, my name is Peter Klubeck. I'm one of the reference librarians here at Baton Rouge Community College. I'm here today to help you find resources for your next assignment. Give me a second and I will pull your assignment up on the screen. Okay, so you're giving a presentation on cultural traditions, customs, symbols. It defines customs as long-standing, long-established habitual practice common to a group of people. A tradition is defined as something that's handed down from one generation to the next. Symbol is an image or character or sign used to represent something else. Superstition is a belief or practice based on rational fears or misconceptions. So you have to pick one of these things, kind of talk about it, describe the group and the culture and what these customs and traditions relate to. You have to get at least three sources, so that's why I'm here. I'm going to help you find those 3 different sources. You have to include at least 2 visual presentations. I'm going to help you find 2 images that you can use from the library. And then the rest of this is how to organize your speech, the time limit, the outline, how it's going to be graded, all those kinds of things, which I'm sure you're familiar with. So every time I give this presentation, what I like to do is put myself in your shoes. I pretend that I have to give this presentation on a cultural group, a tradition, a superstition, and so that's how I'm going to do it. Here we have an image that was painted by artist Ivan Stewart. He visited the library about 2 or 3 years ago. He gave a presentation, he had an exhibition. The theme of his work is primarily Western art. In particular, he looks at the Buffalo Soldiers. So in thinking about this assignment, that's what I decided I would do. I would do some of the cultural traditions, some of the ideas, symbols of the Buffalo Soldiers. So that's what my presentation is going to be about. So the first thing we're going to do is go to the internet. Not because I think you guys don't know how to search for information on the internet, but I'm going to show you how you can do a search smarter. So here's Google. They got a little Google Doodle happening today. What you want to do is scroll down to the lower right-hand corner to settings. Clicking on settings is going to open several options. You're going to click on advanced search. The advanced search looks very similar to searching the library catalog or any of the databases. It doesn't matter if you're using the internet, the catalog, the databases, they all use the same search ideas, the same terminology, the same design, and how to do a search. So I'm going to put Buffalo Soldiers in my search box. There we go, it's already coming up. And then down here where it says slider domain, there are 2 domains that usually produce more reliable information, .gov and .edu. .gov, of course, is a government agency. .edu is an educational institution. The reason why these are more reliable sources comes down to authority. And by authority, we mean author. Okay, so if it's an educational institution like my brcc.edu, or if it's a government entity, someone has to take responsibility for the content that's put out there. And if you're going to take responsibility, if you have to tie your name to something, you're going to make more certain that your sources are reputable, that the information is correct, and that it's actually usable. So that's why these 2 domains tend to be more reliable. So we got .gov, we got Buffalo Soldiers. I'm going to go ahead and click on advanced search. The first few results you see are related to the Buffalo Soldiers and the founding of the national parks. The Buffalo Soldiers were heavily involved with the national parks. I'm not going to explore that aspect of it, and I did do this search earlier, so I'm going to click on this link from the Library of Congress. Anytime you look at a website, there are 3 criteria you should use to evaluate that website to determine if it's useful. The first thing that we talked about, authority, is the first thing that you should look for, is who the author. Ideally, it's going to be a person's name, but it can be a government agency, it can be a corporate entity, could be a group or an individual function of a group. This particular website comes from the Library of Congress, so we have that first piece of information, we have the author. The second piece of information you need to look for is contact information. And if you look right here in the lower left-hand corner, there's a link to an email. So if you have any kind of questions, any kind of doubts in your mind about the information that's out there, you can click on that link and get some more information. The third piece of information you should find is the copyright or when the page was last updated. Right next to the email address we have here, it was updated in December of '98. So we have all 3 pieces of information. That is an indication that we can use this website. The information is going to be pretty reliable. We have an image here. You do need 2 images for this assignment. You could get away with using this. It does have a citation here that you could include in your presentation. I'm not going to use this. I'm going to use a couple of other images, and I'm going to show you how to pull those up. But what we have here is kind of highlighting the main ideas of who and what the Buffalo Soldiers were, a general description of what their group was about, how they were founded, and then some links to some additional information that can kind of help guide your research. So this is kind of a great overview, a great place to start. This is one source for us to use. We need to get 3, so this is 1. Again, it's from the Library of Congress, has links, has updated, so this is a good website to use. Next, we're going to take a look at how to access the electronic books, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at how to access the databases. The next thing we're going to look at is the databases. We're going to look for images, and we're going to look for magazines, newspapers, and journal articles there as well. This is the main BRCC library page. The online databases is the second one from the top in this gray box. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. The first thing you're going to see is a description on how to access the databases from home. If you're off campus, you do have to prove that you're part of BRCC to access the databases. You're going to do that by entering your L number and your PIN. For this example, we're going to look at EBSCO number 2. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. The page that's going to appear next on the screen should be a screen that asks for your student ID and your PIN. You plug that information in and it comes directly to this screen. I've already plugged that information in, so it skipped that. But when you try this, make sure you plug in your student ID and your PIN. And your PIN is default set as your birthday. So 2-digit day, 2-digit month, 2-digit year. You plug that information in and you will get to this screen. And again, all that information is on the databases page to help guide you. I'm going to go ahead and select all and click continue. For this example, we're going to be looking at images. So I'm going to come up here where it says images, let it know we're doing an image search. I'm going to put in Buffalo Soldiers. As my search term, if I could type. And we're going to do images. Okay, so under the image quick search, I'm going to do black and white photograph, color photograph, map, portrait, diagram, illustration. Maybe there'll be a landscape that we're involved with the national parks, so you never know. So I got my boxes checked for the types of images we want. I got my search terms. I'm going to go ahead and click search. There's going to be several different thumbnails that come up. You're going to have to kind of scroll through and take a look at those. This is an actual image from one of the Buffalo Soldier regiments. It has a citation here at the bottom. If you click on how to cite this image, it'll open a window. APA is here. You can highlight that, paste it into your paper. MLA is here. You can highlight that, paste it into your paper. This is one of the images I would use because it has a complete regiment example for us. This is another image that I might want to use. This one is talking about Cathay Williams Cathay, kind of a folk hero within the Buffalo Soldiers. You could talk about that, talk about the meaning, the history, the folk hero status. So that gives us 2 images to work with. So far we've got our 2 images, we've got our 1 web page. I'm going to go ahead and go back to the databases page so that we can find some magazines, journals, newspapers to get us some more resources. I'm going to go ahead and put Buffalo Soldiers back in the search box. And then I'm going to come down here and check this box full text. By checking that box, all our results will be full text. We can actually read them. It's important to check that box. Otherwise, some of your results will be citation only. Go ahead and click search. You see something that's interesting to you, you're going to click on the title. This one's talking about, well, I don't really want that one. What you should really look for is something from an academic journal. There's one, but I don't think I want that one. Let's see what else we can come up with. Well, for the sake of moving the presentation along, I'm just gonna use this one. It doesn't look like it's very great, but you'll click on the title. This will give you some basic information. This does talk about the Buffalo Soldiers. It talks about some of the personnel and the Buffalo Soldiers. The article is linked full text right here. You can read it on the screen. Usually there's a PDF that you can download. This particular example does not have the PDF. So if you can find the PDF, be sure to look for that. You can cite the article by clicking on the citation. Again, it'll open a pop-up. APA is here. If you scroll down, MLA is here. You can just add that to your PowerPoint presentation. That gives us two sources, the internet web page, this particular article, and we've got two images. We do need to get one more source, and so for that, we're going to pull books from the catalog. And right now, you can only pull ebooks, so I'm going to go ahead and pull up the catalog and demonstrate that search. The web page seems to be pretty slow. Not sure what's going on there. Okay, so here we are back on the library page. To look for books, you're going to do a catalog search. I'm going to change it from everything to electronic books. Electronic books are available to you 24/7. I'm going to put Buffalo Soldiers in the search term. Go ahead and click search. This looks like something that's pretty useful, but don't just click on the first thing that you see. Scroll through and take a look. This is the record from a black officer surgeon in a Buffalo regiment. His name was Charles Young. This is kind of a first-hand experience. I think I would go ahead and use this. So once you click on it, see what's useful, you're going to click on electronic access. It should take you to a page that gives you some more information about the book. It's going to have a picture of the cover here. It's going to give you a description. To read it, you're going to click on PDF full text right over here. It should open directly on the screen. All of our ebooks are meant to be read on whatever device you're using. We're using a desktop, so it's meant to be read on a desktop. If I was using my phone, it could be read by my phone that way as well. You can click on a chapter, go directly to that chapter. You can print up to 60 pages, but only up to 60 pages. There's a citation feature as well. You click on that. APA is here. MLA is here. All you have to do is highlight that, paste it into your paper. So that gives us three sources. That gives us this book. That gives us that web article that we looked at, and that gives us the database article that we looked at. That's three sources. We pulled two images from the library. That gets us all the criteria met for this assignment. I hope you found this helpful. If you do have any questions, feel free to send me an email. My email address is Klubek, Klubek, @mybrcc.edu. You can also call the library. The phones are forwarding. We'll be more than happy to help you search for whatever you're looking for to help you get started. Good luck, and I hope you do extremely well.